that you settled down and you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. La-di-da-di-dum. Nah. Hey, everybody!
Okay.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to
BOOZHOO,
BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO.
NANABOOZHOO.
My name is Natasha Nindizha. And before we get started, I just want to say a special miigwech thank you to all you wonderful people who've been supporting the show. If you'd like to support our show with just a few bucks, you can click the link to PayPal or sign up on Patreon. And what else can you do? You can order books, Ojibwe language, books and comics by Michael Lyons by clicking the link to his Amazon page. And he's got some really sweet books there. And what else? Yeah, welcome back to BOOZHOO, NANABOOZHOO. Now, without further ado, please welcome the original AADIZOOKEWININI, the original storyteller himself, NANABOOZHOO. Take it away, baby.
Oh, wow. Miigwech, Mushane. Thank you, sweetheart. And BOOZHOO, today's Ojibwe word of the day. How about we just make it AADIZOOKEWININI?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
AADIZOOKEWININI is a storyteller. AADIZOOKE is one who tells a story. And Winini is a man. Not to say that women can't be storytellers. There's some great storytellers out there that are women. Like Anne Dunn, BOOZHOO Anne. She's famous for writing a book. She's written a couple of books on stories. The one I'm familiar with is Grandmother's Stories. Those are pretty good. And she came out with a new one a couple of years ago, but I'm forgetting the name of that book. Anne Dunn. Check her out. Anyway, AADIZOOKEWININI. And in the Anishinaabe way, in the Indian way, the storytellers were very important to the people. They would say, wait until the snow is on the ground before you tell the stories. And over the years, people started to thinking it was taboo to tell a story in the summer. They were like, oh, don't say that, you're not supposed to. But I think the whole thing behind that is just, back in the days of the grandfathers, they didn't have, the internets. They didn't have movies on demand. They didn't have a million ways to watch stories. They would have to get together in the lodge. And the person who was a good storyteller was like a stand-up comedian. And he would entertain the people while it was cold outside. And so the elders would tell him, hey man, don't waste those stories. We're going to want to hear them in the winter. But with that in mind, AADIZOOKEWININI, storyteller. And today, I would like to tell the story of how Robin got his name. Robin, Opichi, or actually it's more like Opichi, not to be confused with Obichi, which is something else, but Opichi, Robin. And the story of how Robin got his name begins with a young boy named Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne lived in Gotham City, and he loved the stories. He loved to go to the movies. So one day, his dad, Thomas Wayne, and his mom, Martha Wayne, who coincidentally we learned is the same name as Superman's mom, if you watch the movie. But so Bruce Wayne loved the stories. And one day they went to the movie theater to watch a movie called Zorro. And Zorro was a sword fighter who wore a black cape and a mask. And he would fight crime. And when he'd get done fighting crime, he'd cut a big Z in the wall with his sword. So people knew that Zorro was there. And so, as it happens, the Bruce and his mom and dad went and saw this movie. And then after the movie, they decided to walk back to their car. And his dad was super rich, by the way. And he goes, "Come on, kid, let's take your mom and we'll go down this really scary alley." They call it Crime Alley. So they go walking down there. Who's down there? A robber. And the robber comes up and he's like, "Hey man, give me your money. And give me your pearls, lady." And Thomas Wayne, Bruce's dad, goes, "Hey man, get out of here. Leave him alone." And so the criminal was like, "Oh yeah? Well, say hello to my little friend." And he shoots his mom and dad. Oh, what? And they died. And little Bruce Wayne is just heartbroken. It's like, "Oh man, look what that guy did. He shot my parents." Well, it looks like there's only one thing for me to do. I'm going to work out real hard for many years. I'm going to get big muscles. And I'm going to study karate. And then I'll study crime fighting. And I'll study seamstress, sewing. And I'll make a costume when I grow up. And I'll dress up like a bat. And I'll fight crime like Zorro. And so that's how Batman came to be. And so for years, Batman would fight crime. He'd fight the Joker and the Riddler and Clayface and Two-Face and all those guys. But then, he got lonely. So on the other side of town, there was a family called the Graysons. And little Dick Grayson, he was in the circus. He was an acrobat. And so then one day, somehow, his parents died. And he ends up in a foster care system. And Bruce Wayne goes into the foster care and he's like, "Oh, wow, look at that poor little guy. He's just like me. He lost his parents." And he went to Commissioner Gordon and he goes, "Hey, man, why don't you let me raise this boy? I know what he's going through. I lost my parents too." And Commissioner Gordon goes, "Well, there's a lot of paperwork to become a foster parent. And there's going to be a background check and all that." And Bruce Wayne was like, "Never mind that. I'll take him to my house and I'll become his ward," whatever that means. And they're like, "Okay." So he goes and he gets Dick Grayson and he brings him back to his house. And he's like, "Okay, well, this is your new home. It's Wayne Manor. It's a big mansion. And I got a butler who will be your butler now. His name is, what's butler's name? Alfred. And you might as well know." And he goes over to this clock and he opens up this grandfather clock, this big tall thing. And what's there? A fireman's pole. In fact, there's two. He made one for Robin too, or for Dick Grayson too. And he goes, "Here, slide down this fireman's pole." And so I slide down the fireman's pole. And what's down there? The Bat Cave. Oh, and he couldn't believe it. Little Dick Grayson goes, "Oh, geez, look at this. You got a Batmobile and a great big computer. And it's just down here in this old greasy, wet cave. And how come all these bats are pooping on everything?" But then, so Bruce Wayne says, "Look, man, I'm Batman. And I sewed this really cool suit. It's all black. And I got like motorcycle boots and a big black cape. And it matches my car. And there's a motorcycle I call the Bat Cycle. And the car I call a Batmobile. And over there is a helicopter I call the Bat-copter. And it's really cool. And so Dick Grayson goes, hey man, I want to help you. I will fight crime too. I'm really good at gymnastics. And you can call me Bat Boy. You'll be Batman and Bat Boy. It's perfect. And Bruce Wayne goes, nah, I don't think so. I'm going to call you Robin. And I'm going to dress you up like, I don't know. I'm going to give you these little elf shoes. And you can wear just little green panties. And your legs are going to be bare. And here's a little shirt with an emblem with an R on it. And that'll stand for Robin. And here's a yellow cape. And look, I got a little mask. A little mask will cover just your eyes. But, you know, your hair and everything will still show. And people are going to know immediately who you are. There's no way, you know. And Dick Grayson's like, are you sure, man? I guess I'd rather be Batboy. He's like, nah, man, you can be Robin. And this is how Robin got his name. Opichi, Robin. And this is our Ojibwe word of the day. And our sacred Anishinaabe story. Our sacred AADIZOOKEWININI story. Or sacred story. The Bajimoan is a story in Ojibwe. Anyway, having said that, sweetie, would you mind sending us out?
Well, just want to say thank you for watching Miigwech Ganawabi Egg BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is NANABOOZHOO.
BOOZHOO!
And I will see you again. Gigawabamin! Minowa!
Oh, oh, that was really good, sweetie.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, give us a thumbs up if you like this show.